comments are working. Okay.
Are we live?
This might need a second to load up, but it says we are.
It says we are. Someone say something.
But do we have to? Oh, let's go play. Did we have to add anything else as well?
I don't think so.
Wait.
Oh, hey, Elijah. Can you?
Oh yeah, there we go. Right.
Oh, sweet as.
I don't think so. Lovely.
Here we go, guys. Our first ever live Q&A on the Butterfly Effect podcast. Both of us in the flesh together. How's it going, Elijah?
Oh, I've never seen this person before.
I know.
Cian Dolly. Nice to see you.
Cian? Is it Chan? How do we pronounce that? Yeah, we're good. How are you doing, Elijah? Hey, Slasheen.
The one and
Slasheen in the
only.
building. We've got all your comments or questions, rather, I should say, ready. But I've got to admit, I'm curious to see how many we've got in the building at an early stage.
Yeah, I know, same here. But yeah, this is a one and only. We rarely meet up. I live in the south of England. Jack lives in the north. We're having a getaway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, Elijah. It's a rare moment for us, but it's happening. It's pronounced Kian. Got it. Okay, Kian. Kian.
Oh, nice.
It's lovely seeing your forehead again, Jack. No, we had to test because, like, the truth is that, like, this is very much done on Jack's equipment. So yeah, we needed to test it worked. So yeah, you had to have a lovely video. I'm surprised as many people saw it as we did. We just went live to go on for a minute as a test, and like 5 people flooded in just looking at Jack's forehead.
What should we give it another couple of minutes, or should we just crack on?
I reckon we can crack on. Let's get to these questions. I haven't.
Well, I'll tell you what, Elijah, you're in the building, so I think actually we'll start with your question, and I'll let you go first, mate. So, do you like YouTube as your job?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I love it. Well, you know, firstly, it's not my job. So, like, you know, I can't just say, yeah, it's my job. We both work full time, so it's very much a side thing we do. But yeah, like, I very much enjoy it. I would love to, you know, keep doing it, you know, while how do I say, like, do you reckon you could do YouTube as your full-time job, Jack? Like, if the money was consistent,
it would have to be consistent.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I would still want that sort of security.
Same here, exactly.
So like I'd say for us it's more a passion project. It's not a job. This is something that naturally we want to grow. We want it to get bigger and just, you know, see how far we can take it. But like, I don't know about you. Yeah, I feel like I'd always want the security of a job.
Same.
Because you don't know, things can change, people taste, whatever. So we need more money.
We need more money. But the thing is as well, when we started, we never thought it would get to this level alone. No. So like the fact that, you know, we have got just a little bit. Thank you, Elijah. You know, we'll take that, honestly. So, like, it's almost like wonderland to be thinking that way for me, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's nice seeing you too, Liam. You were really handsome in the test stream. Well, I wasn't in it, but well, thank you very much. Which leads us beautifully onto our second question.
Yeah.
Submitted by Liam Avo 995, whoever that person is. They sound pretty cool, though. Liam, why are you so handsome? I'm honestly born with it. You know, that's the answer to that one. Someone said he is not. Nah. I haven't read these. What the hell? You certainly think very highly of yourself. I'm looking forward to seeing what your answer is going to be. Well,
clearly he does think highly of himself.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So I don't know what this next question. Who's it from? JCJTju.
Yeah.
What other genre of games are you interested in, and what are your favourite non-choice based games? So for me, I do like my shooters. So like I do have a history of playing Call of Duty. and Wolfenstein as well. I played Wolfenstein quite a bit. I do like my sport games, so like I've played FIFA quite a bit. I've played F1 quite a bit. I like your more open world adventure stuff like Red Dead, GTA. So quite a mix actually, but it's actually as I've got older that these games have become more of a thing because it's more interactive and you can like influence it and it's more story based. So yeah, I'd say that's what it is for me.
I like tiddlywinks. You didn't say it had to be video games. Nah, for real though, like if I just list some random games that I play outside of choice based, I love Fallout. Spyro's pretty massive to me. I was really into Gears of War for a while. There's just such a massive variety. Yeah, like I'm trying to think what out. There's just so many. I love my PS1 classics like Rayman, Crash, Spyro, puzzle games like Little Nightmares, which we've played on the channel before. So like I quite like my 2D little indie platformers, stuff like that. So yeah, massive variety. But yeah, choice-based games at OP though, like nothing surpassing that. We've got a live question here, Jack.
Yeah, go on. Let's do a couple of live ones.
What type of horror game story would you like in the future?
Well, funnily enough, we have actually done videos on this. It's in like the next Supermassive Game playlist, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And it's quite fitting actually because of the release of Directive 8020 having a shape-shifting villain. But that's what I pitched, you know. So I'm getting my wish in Directive 8020. We get a shape-shifting villain, you know, just to spice up the dialogue scenes a bit. You don't know who to trust. So I think it just gives the choices a bit of a stronger edge, you know. So yeah, certainly a shape-shifting villain. I like the different types of horror as well. In that, I do like the jump scares. They do have their place, but it's why I bang that drum for like the Devil in Me so much for like the eerie horror.
Yeah.
Games like Outlast, I do get a kick out of because you're sort of funneled in like a camera, but you don't know what's coming around the corner. So you're constantly on edge. I do like that sort of stuff as well.
Yeah. For me, I mean, the game I pitched was to do with this indigenous tribe and stuff where you're their prisoner, but there's a language barrier, they don't understand you. So you're literally locked in knowing your fate's sealed. And there's something really chilling about that to me. But I don't know. I've got a few ideas. I in my head, if I was a writer or a director, I have like a serial killer that I've almost invented. Which is loosely based off of experiences I had when I used to work in a call center. And I like the idea of this serial killer, right, who kills people who like are rude to him on the phone. So you'll get like a call center worker that would just like murder people that like tell him to like F off on like the phone because he has their address and then he'll note them down and then like, you know, I just think that could be like quite a cool origin story for a villain. So yeah, there's something there. Got quite a few flooding in here.
Yeah,
Sorry, we're rambling more than the questions. Yeah.
Did you like school?
Yes and no. I miss how easy it was. Adulthood's rough, man. But I also like earning money and like being, you know, with my current brain. There was some awful stuff at school, like certain teachers that would certain people, you know, I hated in class and stuff, you know, had a tough time from certain individuals. So I like that. Yeah, like if you ask me, would I go back? God, no. I'm kind of glad I'm on the other side, but I definitely wish I could have done it with my newfound confidence because I was very shy back then. So like, yeah, I would love to tackle it again. Like if a bully starts to like roast you, you would have to come back now when you were as a kid. Like I'd love to just rip the shit out of like a kid, you know?
Yeah. I was all right with school. I think it's that you know what? It's probably why from time to time we act so silly on the channel because there is a part of me that's quite nostalgic. It's literally what you were saying about like how you were more free. You know how like I don't know if you guys are the same, but like you know when you're young you sort of can't wait to grow up, but then perhaps when you're older it's sort of like the opposite. You sort of wish that maybe like things were a little bit more easier like they were when at school because you got to see your mates every day. You're doing what like 6-hour days, no more than that. So like, but in terms of actual school itself, yeah, I thought it was okay. I didn't have too many problems with it. I had good friends throughout school. In terms of like lessons and stuff, I probably did take it sort of quite seriously because I'm just naturally sort of ambitious in that sense. I wanted to do the best for myself. But yeah, I didn't mind it at all. What else? Oh, hey Josh, how's it going? What's this from I Am the Walrus? Is this literally the last comment on here? What do you think of the fact that the Little Hope trials, H.H. Holmes and Manny Sherman occur exactly 100-year gaps? I mean, I didn't even know that. 1692, 1892 and 1992. In my opinion, I think they all involve the same one demon.
Yeah, I mean, it's very astute that you've picked that up. Like, we've just done an escape room earlier today, and we wouldn't have looked up for details such as that.
No, yeah.
But yeah, that's really good. I mean, it could be. I mean, I think those DPA games, that they're always linked. They always throw cameos at each other. And I think maybe it's just kind of like they're just trying to go for a pattern, just to tie them all to the curator somehow. So, it could be a clue for a future game. It might not be, though, and I try not to overthink those things, to be honest.
Sun is too bright. Wait there.
Okay. While we do that, I'm just going to read this one by Kian, who says, just got my results to the Irish equivalent of the GCSE, and I'm ready to start a new game of The Devil in Me. Oh, good choice. The Devil in Me is a pretty good game. Like, we have a poll on right now of which one do we prefer, House of Ashes, Devil in Me. Jack and I haven't told each other our results, but we both know that it's super close. Like, there's not much in it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not going to tell each other what the answers are now, because we're going to freshly react when we do end up recording that one. But yeah, it's proper tight, that video.
Yeah. Like, again, without like stepping on its toes too much, going into the video, my premise is that I really like the setup for The Devil in Me. It taps into what my expectation, what my love for horror is, in terms of like characters gathering together. There's a serial killer. And I liked House of Ashes, but it just wasn't my vibe, So like going into it, I was like very pro Devil in Me, but it's like Liam said, I was pleasantly surprised with actually how close it was when you try to look at things in a more, I say objective sense, but like it's all going to be subjective at the end of the day. But I do try and look at things from like maybe somebody else's perspective. What's this? I like The Devil in Me, but I think House of Ashes has a bit more of an edge. Both are great. Yeah, like House of Ashes, there's a lot more action in House of Ashes, isn't it? I think Devil in Me maybe leans into horror more.
Yeah, like House of Ashes, it doesn't really feel like a horror game to me, and I feel like they are supposed to be horror games. What are your system specs? I won't be able to tell you without having it. And Jack's just on his Chromebook, so
yeah,
we'll have to answer that at a different point. That confidence is why I'm sure there'll be a game about the French Revolution. Oh, coincidence. Yeah, 1792. Yeah, that would be cool. Do you reckon that's one of the other games, like the season 2 titles? Do you reckon? You
know what? Adding on that walrus, I'll say that I think one of the clues in The Devil in Me, when you look at the book, do you remember that book? I forgot what the author was called, but when you look at the book, it is set in France.
Oh, is that like the Chris Hartley one?
That's the.
Wait, Chris Hartley's the Until Dawn.
That's Until Dawn. T.S. Hartley.
T.S. Hartley, yeah.
T.S. Hartley. If you look on the book, it is set in France. So, to be fair, you could be right.
Could be like Intercession, maybe.
Yeah.
Why do you both always get folks killed with your choices?
Because I'm just bad at it. I'm just bad at it. I can't really say more than that.
Little Hope, Man of Medan and House of Ashes, 5 for 5 in DPA. Little Hope, I did movie night mode. I wasn't the one who killed them. And Devil in Me, I can't do heartbeat sequences. And I buggered some 50-50 choices up pretty much. I'm talking, that's how I killed Erin and Kate anyway. But yeah.
Yeah. So for myself, Until Dawn, I think I kept 3 out of 8 alive, which I'm gutted about because 2 of them died at the explosion at the end. I think it was Mike and M because I just ran straight for the bloody light switch. The Quarry, I'm going to say 4 out of 8, but one of them is a bit sus because it's just Max infected on the island. So technically he's alive, he's not dead, but yeah, I'll say 4 out of 8. Medan, I had 3 alive: Alex, Fliss, and Julia. Little Hope, 2 alive: Andrew and Angela. House of Ashes, also 2 alive. I had Salim and Jason, so I had like the bromance ship ending basically, and Salim got to see his son, which was really cool. And then Devil in Me, I had 3 alive. So Charlie, Jamie, and Mark. Yeah.
Sonia's in the building.
Sup, Sonia? What's your favourite weather?
What's my favourite weather?
It's the most British thing we could possibly answer on this Q&A.
Sunny.
Yeah, I think sunny, but maybe like I'm that typical Brit where it's like if it gets too hot, maybe I'm like, oh, come on, like it needs to be a bit cooler. We're never happy. Really, are we?
Tell you what, call me quite gloomy, but I quite like the rain. Like sleeping to rain is like one of my favorite things. So yeah, like, but like I like variety, because although I like the rain, we get too much of it here in the UK. So yeah, I just want variety.
What am I looking at? I'm joining. Just give me some time to time. Delayed by a tree. See, I told you. You shouldn't like them. So I'm jumping the Jack H Street wagon. I'll be sooning, fellas. Awesome. Okay, well, it looks like we can dovetail back to some of the comments that some of you guys put in the post that we put out. You got any preferences?
We'll leave Sonia's till she's back.
Yeah.
What next have we got? It's
maybe
question.
Should we do Life is Strange? Which one is better?
So we've got one here by D Lamia, who's got a Life is Strange 2 picture, and their question is, which one is better, Life is Strange 1 or Life is Strange 2? Now, we've not done Life is Strange 2 on the channel yet. I probably will play it and I will stream it at some point. We are probably looking at next year because the influx of games that we've got coming out, in this period at coming through winter and spring. But wholeheartedly, it's an easy answer for me. And it is Life is Strange 1 that I think is better. I'm more invested in the characters. There are people that will die on the hill that Life is Strange 2 is the better game, and I love that there are those opinions out there, but I just could not connect to the brothers. And one thing that I thought made Life is Strange 1 so special is its relation to Twin Peaks, how it mirrored that. You go in the school, there's all the different characters, there's a lot, there's the main missions and the main relationships, but there's all this side stuff going on. With Life is Strange 2 being a big road trip, I just couldn't connect to anything. If I thought I could connect to something, we'd move swiftly on. So yeah, I struggled with Life is Strange 2. I didn't hate it, but Life is Strange 1's impact is just 10 times better to me than Life is Strange 2 was, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I'm in the same camp. As well. I've got to admit, we talk about Life is Strange 2. We're actually in the middle of recording Before the Storm as well. We're doing like an analysis before the storm, but again, guys, we don't know when that's going to go out because, as you know, there's like so many things coming out in the next few months. Life is Strange, far superior. When we do the analysis for Life is Strange 2, I'm hopeful that when I replay it or when I rewatch it, that I find things that I merit and like, because the amount of voice notes that I sent to Liam saying that this is absolute trash and I could fall asleep. Like if I was struggling with insomnia, like to play Life is Strange 2 would be like a valid medical thing to help me get over that, because I found the characters quite bland. I thought the fact that you didn't have the power, for me, I'd rather have the power. Give me the gameplay, rather than watching some AI do it. And it didn't hit the beats of Life is Strange 1, so it falls very flat for me. So as it stands, I've not played True Colors. It's just like on a downward trajectory for me.
Cool, more questions have trickled in. Yeah. So Elijah, what games have you played other than the games you talk about on the channel? I mean, we kind of answered it recently with the games we played, but for me, if we're talking about recently, I've been playing a lot of Fallout 4. I'm doing a big campaign on that at the moment. And it's kind of embarrassing, but me and my friends at my home, we've been playing Farming Simulator 2022 and Power Wash Simulator. So the games, like they're not my first choice, but it's the social aspect for me. Just sitting back, having some beers, building a farm together. It's actually pretty fun, although it is sad. But yeah, how about you?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of games I haven't mentioned. I love LA Noire.
Yeah.
Like LA Noire is like probably top 3 games ever for me. It just hits the beats that I like. When I was younger, I'm obviously I'm a Bond fan, so like I was playing like the James Bond games a lot. So like you talk about the GoldenEye, the N64, Nightfire.
Nightfire's my favorite.
Nightfire, yeah, like I love Nightfire.
Yeah.
Agent Under Fire, Bloodstone.
Yeah.
All of the Call of Duties, a lot of the FIFAs, but I feel like I'm just going over what I've said before now. But safe to say, a lot of games, a lot of games. Simba Trey says, "Are you looking more towards? I'm guessing that's. Are you looking forward more towards casting a Frank Stone or Directive 8020? Which do you think will be better?"
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Frank Stone.
Really?
Yeah, I mean it's a tough one, right? I think Directive 8020. It looks better than the other games, but I think I wouldn't say Dark Pictures is getting stale, but there is a formula there,
Right.
and I think Frank Stone has more sort of kind of room to leave a mark. I think Directive 8020, if the story's meh and some of the characters are bland and there's just like, I mean, there will be plot armor, I expect that. I feel it could just get lost in the shuffle with the other 4 games. I feel Frank Stone, like the prologue looked really promising. There's some really fun like DVD stuff in there, but I don't know. I just feel like I think the blockbusters have more potential than the anthologies, and I just think Frank Stone, if it does well, it's gonna maybe be not as good as Until Dawn, but I could see it being better than The Quarry.
So you think it's a blockbuster?
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking it's going to be probably like a 7 to 10 hour game, maybe. I mean, it's its own entity, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I think, I just have a feeling Frank Stone could be the better game. I feel it's the riskier one. The safe option's probably to say Directive 8020, but I'm just going to go out on a limb and say I think Frank Stone's going to be a good game. Yeah.
Well, this is where we disagree because I am going to pick Directive. Part of that is rooted in bias because I'm not a DBD. I know I should look past it, but I just can't. And I just think with Directive, like I don't know if you guys have seen like the extra like trailer thing that they brought out, but like they've got this stealth mechanic in the game now. The graphics have obviously improved. There's like different features that you can like access. I mean, this is the same for casting of Frank Stone as well, but there's like different features that like Directive is going to have. But the biggest reason is just the concept. I know I'm a big fan of serial killers with Frank Stone and stuff like that, but I'm guessing I prefer my serial killer stories to be more grounded, where this looks like it's going to be more supernatural. But this one, it's just right off the bat. It's like it's going to be about shapeshifters, and I just enjoy. I mean, we've literally got on the TV now the traitors motorway. I just like that whole trust element. You don't know who you're talking to in a video game, so I'm all in for Directive. But I'm also looking forward to streaming Frank Stone. Like I'm not just parking it to one side or anything.
It's going to be close. Yeah, like no idea to be honest, and it'll be interesting for us to finish both and then kind of come back and say which was better.
Yeah. Also, Jack, why'd you call Liam a donut? It's just banter, isn't it? Like,
you are what you eat, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's just a bit of banter.
Yeah. I call myself it, to be honest. It's all good.
Do you guys play online movie night with Supermassive or just play them alone first time round? I play them alone first time round, and big reason being is that I want the ownership of it. I want to, like I said before, I've not kept the characters alive at all. I've not had a clean sweep in a Supermassive game. So like when I go into my blind playthrough, I'm desperately trying to keep everyone alive. And if I was to do movie night or shared story, I would lose that ownership of my choices. So like while I'd be happy to do it afterwards, blind playthrough, it's just a no-go for me.
Yeah, I tend to play most of mine blind. Like, don't get me wrong, ever since the channel, I have done bits. Like, I think The Quarry, The Devil in Me, and Telltale's Expanse. And, you know, a few other games in there as well, like Twin Mirror, Tell Me Why. I've done them on the channel blind. And I quite like that I've got to share it with you. But, like, I think it's important just to have your blind playthrough as your experience. You know, I don't mind people watching me do it. But, yeah, like, I just like living with my consequences and my choices. I feel like that is a big part of why the games are there. So yeah, and the only one I obviously, as I mentioned, I have done Little Hope. I started that as a co-op thing, but I much preferred, you know, and I'm glad I tried it. I dipped my toe in it with Little Hope, but I'm glad that, you know, I've done it, but I can safely say I prefer starting it solo. So I know the choices are fully on me.
Arkham 13. Hi there. So what's your thoughts on the Supermassive making Little Nightmares 3? Have you played its previous games? For me, no. So
yeah,
I take it.
I have. Yeah, I love Little Nightmares. I think they're brilliant. Tarsier Studios have created this absolute gem of a game. How I feel about them publishing it, I don't really know too much, but I guess that just shows, you know, how much quality Supermassive Games are, that they can make games, publish games. Not just make choice-based games as well. They do a lot of different styles of games. There's a lot of like talent and skill there and variety in Supermassive Games. It's just we focus on the blockbuster choice-based games they make. But yeah, no, I'm a massive fan. Little Nightmares 1, we covered it on the channel, so you could go ahead and check that if you haven't already. It was really fun to play. Very short game though. I think Little Nightmares 2 does a really good job of making a bigger game, although probably less iconic. I really like the little story with Mono and Six going on. And that teacher villain is absolute nightmare fuel for me. You know, like she's like the creepiest person in all the games, in my opinion. So yeah, no, I love a bit of Little Nightmares, mate.
Siberian. I'm not too late, am I? No, better late than never. And you've also asked a question. Who do you consider to be a part of your dream casting for a Supermassive Games title? We'll be here all night if I'm trying to pick 5 characters out. So I'm just going to pick like the one celebrity. I'm going to go a little bit maybe old school, I guess, because of his role as Doctor Who. But I'm going to pick David Tennant. I'm going to pick David Tennant in a Dark Pictures.
I'm going to go. I'll probably go Danny DeVito. I was thinking. Yeah, just have Danny DeVito, like, yeah, just being himself. And the best part is, I would have it so he's not even playing a character. He's just Danny DeVito. And it's, if it was Directive 8020, he's just in a space station. Yeah, this is why I'm paid to be on this side, not, you know, in the Supermassive Game Studio. For real though, I don't really know. Like, I like the idea of giving like an actor, like maybe a smaller actor, like the opportunity. So like one of the most underrated actors, I think, is a guy called Ewan Ryan, who's Ramsay Bolton in Game of Thrones and Simon Misfits. I think he's talented, and I think he would do really well in the spotlight there. So, what do you? I can't read. What do you also think of something like a curated cut for Until Dawn, and do you have any ideas for it? Yeah, I think we once thought about that, didn't we? Because like when you've got like say Jess might walking to like the sexcapade, you've got like Matt and Emily that go missing for big chunks. And I know they had that little chapter 2 thing, but you could easily do bits and pieces, couldn't you? I right now no ideas are coming to me, but yeah, like maybe like when if Sam gets imprisoned, like. Or not imprisoned, but captured by the Psycho. Maybe you could have a scene with her, like getting tied up, or like, you know, I don't know. That would be something I would do for a creator's cut.
Yeah, random idea that I've literally just thought of on the spot. I know it wouldn't be a curator's cut, but it'd be pretty good if like, because we hardly play as Josh, right? We play as Josh for like one walk around scene. And then obviously when we're playing, you know, facing Dr. Hill, could you imagine if like there was a version of the story where like you could like become the Psycho?
Yeah.
And you see what Josh gets up to while the characters are walking around the house. Like I think that would be really neat as like a bonus DLC or something like that. But honestly, Curator's Cut Until Dawn, it's a no-brainer. Any excuse for more Until Dawn gameplay, I'm completely down for it.
Nice to see you, CKM.
Yeah.
And Sonia says, did you miss much? Well, about
maybe half hour.
Half hour now, yeah.
But it's on YouTube, so just rewind it if you want.
But yeah, we haven't done all the questions yet, and we left yours out, so we'll get to that when we get a moment of freedom. How did we become friends? Wait, we're not friends, we're colleagues. No, but in this city that we're in, actually, representing Coventry Uni, place called Quadrant Halls, which was when we were first years, we moved in there. We were the lads of floor 7. I was room 711. Jack was room 704. And when I came to uni, I was like really ill and like socially anxious. But I just decided to step out my comfort zone, and there was a football game happening. And I sat next to Jack, and we watched Man U get thumped by Leicester 5-3. What a beautiful day that was. But it, like the main thing that we cite like the friendship down to is like what was it, you spied me liking a Facebook page? Like
spied sounds sinister.
Yeah, it does. It did tell you on the screen. Yeah, it did.
So basically, back in the day, I used to like go on Facebook on my laptop. So this is going back 10 years. I still didn't do it on my smartphone. I was a bit behind everyone else. So basically, I was on my Facebook one day, and it has like what your like friends like down the side, and it said Liam likes this, and it was a page dedicated to a character from like The Walking Dead season 2. I think it's Rebecca, but I might be wrong. So because like these are popular games, right, but they are kind of niche. So like bringing up GTA, everyone knows what that is, but to bring up Telltale's The Walking Dead, Dark Pictures, do you know what I mean? You're not as likely to find it. So anyway, I was like, I'm gonna have to like tell this guy that we've got this joint interest. He's on my floor. Do you know what I mean? And he was just in the elevator in like our halls, and I just did it so poorly. Like I didn't even think, you know what, I'm gonna slip this into conversation. We were just in the lift, and I was like, do you know Telltale's The Walking Dead? And it was just like, yeah. And then it's just gone from there. He was the one that told me about Until Dawn and Heavy Rain, which along with LA Noire are probably in my top 3 games of all time.
Because I was like, if you love Telltale, man, there's Supermassive Games, and then afterwards I was like, oh yeah, it's like Quantic Dream. You're like, what's Quantic Dream? Like, you don't know about Heavy Rain, and I threw Heavy Rain at you. So if Jack didn't say that on that elevator, the channel wouldn't be a thing.
Exactly. Let's hang on. Where are we going?
So how did you go? Drop a
like, butterflies.
Thank you, Reed. I don't think I've seen you before, Reed, but nice.
Thank you very much.
Davini, I love Davini, man. What do you guys think about the new mechanics in Directive 8020, like real-time threats and stealth?
We spoke about this earlier on. I absolutely love it. I love the fact we've literally been calling for it on the channel. You guys know this, that like we like the formula. We'll keep coming back because we're big fans of these games, but to like innovate, to give us something, a different flavor, something different. So the fact that you can do that, and you know what? Speaking of the stealth thing, I swear that in your story idea for the next Supermassive game, you pitched something about a stealth bit, like in the jungle where like you're creeping past the tribe or something. So it's weird how like an idea from your Supermassive game idea, and obviously the shape-shifting thing, it's been put together in Directive 8020. So we're both made up. We just need to hear a release date now, don't we?
Do you reckon they're listening to our podcast and stealing our ideas? And could it be that one of these fuckers is working on a massive game?
If so, copyright Butterfly Effect Podcast.
Exactly. You rats. Snitches.
What's this? Cyber. What do you think of Supermassive Games apparently self-publishing Directive 8020? Are there any worries it possibly being digital only? Right, speaking for myself, I did upgrade to next gen. Was it earlier this year or last year? And I have got the Series S, which means I have to buy digitally. I was a guy, and I still am a guy. I do like the physical copy, but I am starting to accumulate a lot of things, and maybe actually going forward, digital is the best for me. So I'm weirdly, I didn't think I'd ever say this, but I'm weirdly not that asked by the digital aspect. As far as them self-publishing, go ahead. Best of luck to them. You can sort of, I don't know if that's if that's sort of showing in like like the poster. It looks different. It doesn't look like the typical DPA branding, does it? It's just a Dark Pictures game. So I don't know if that's because they've been released by Bamco or they've gone off doing their own stuff now. But go ahead, Supermassive. Best of luck to you.
Yeah, like I think it shows confidence, and I feel like we see it all the time where publishers can rush game developers to make games in a really unhealthy amount of time, and then the product can be awful. If they publish it, that means they're the authors of when they pull the trigger out, so they can put a lot more TLC into the game. So yeah, like I'm excited by that aspect. Digital only. I have a PC, doesn't have a CD-ROM, so that wouldn't fly with me. But like, there's so many people like myself that it wouldn't happen. I'm confident it wouldn't, because you're excluding a massive market there. So might be arrogant of me. I don't think, they'll exclude people like myself there.
What's this from Arkham? Have you seen the trailer for Reanimal? Sorry, Arkham, I haven't even heard of it, my friend.
No.
I haven't even heard. Have you heard of it?
Wait, which one's this?
Have you seen the trailer?
Yeah. Oh, okay. So they do Little Nightmares 3. No, I haven't. We'll check it out though, man. Reanimal, got it. Okay.
Who do you think is? Oh wow, that's just refreshed. Oh, here we go. Who do you think is the best and worst antagonist from the Dark Pictures games?
Best? Are we talking like human? Because the best is the vampire bat creatures in House of Ashes for me. The first thing that posed like a real threat, didn't they?
Yeah, and I agree with that.
Yeah, like every other thing was like in your head, and then we finally had this threat. And I don't know, I think it's terrifying having something that's just much bigger and stronger than you that you barely have a chance against. So I'd have to say that. Worst, I want to say, you know what? I'm going to say it's probably, not to dog on Little Hope too much, but I don't know. It might have to be those monsters. I mean, some of them are cool. Some of them weren't, no. And I don't want to step on the toes of a future video, which will be coming out.
Yeah.
But one of them. If not, the more I think about the devil in me, the worse Grant from Dumain gets for me. That he does kind of fall towards the bottom of the barrel for me as well.
Yeah, I've got to admit, this is a point of thing for Frank Stone. Yeah, for me, like to answer your question, vampire bats, and actually, yeah, it's probably the Little Hope demons. Yeah. But I've got to admit, I'm on a similar thing with Dumet, where like I like the background, I like the fact he's an FBI guy that becomes a serial killer, but because the killer is so bland and doesn't have a personality or anything, it just doesn't sort of connect for me. So like the kills are cool. The kills are what make the devil in me, isn't it? Dumet's sort of more background. I'd actually argue that Holmes, in the short time we get with him in the prologue, is a stronger villain than Dumet. I don't know if that's a hot take for people, but I think that's how I.
No, I kind of. If we had more time with him, then it would be night and day. It really would. Video about fan casting frontal on the movie. Just Danny DeVito as every role in different
Danny
outfits.
DeVito as the stranger.
Yeah.
He's got a flamethrower.
As Dr. Hill, as the Wendigos, as Wolfie. Just Danny DeVito everywhere. Honestly, I'm not really one for ants. Like, don't get me wrong. It's difficult for me to say because we had original actors who played them, and I wouldn't change them because I know Rami Malek is Josh. I know Brett Dalton is Mike. I know Hayden Panettiere is Sam. And I just like seeing anyone in those positions would just throw me off. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, it would. I can't really answer that, I'm afraid.
I am glad that Peter Stormare is back as Dr. Hill.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah,
big time.
But I'm hearing so many things online as well that they're not even going to do the plot of Until Dawn. They're not going to do it like as the game went.
Yeah, which I know I'm going to get so underwhelmed.
Yeah, we've obviously done a video, and I did make some fairly significant changes. I think it's safe to say, but I still would want the DNA of the game to be there. I still want the general story to be there, and for them to like potentially rip it up, I'm not a fan.
Can you see my ruby tattoo? Yes, Sonia. So here it is. Like, I don't know if the light's going to be good enough for it. I'll try and like turn it as
Hang
much.
on a minute, I'll just pick up the
Yeah,
camera.
okay, let's do that then. So yeah, like there you go. There's Ruby. I mean, we've got the sunlight on it there. Hang on, let me get in the way of that. Hopefully you can see it better there. There she is in all her glory. And now she may no longer be with us, but she can live with me and go with me on all my adventures forever. Now she lives on my arm. So yeah. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that one. Got it like I got it just under a month ago actually, so it's still a fairly fresh one. Still a few scabs there, but yeah, it's healing up nicely. I hope they don't charge like $50 for the games. I mean, same here. Like I think as well, we've done a video on Double Exposure, how expensive that game is, and I do think it is almost getting slightly out of hand. So yeah, it's why I looked at the Frank Stone costs and I was like, actually, deluxe edition, such a bargain. So yeah, hopefully, I agree. You know, we're not rich people, contrary to our videos, but yeah, like.
Which is another reason why I don't consider it a blockbuster, funnily enough.
Yeah.
I know I shouldn't be basing it on price, but like it wouldn't surprise me if Frank Stone's length was, you know, similar to that of a DPA game. That's awesome, guys. Thanks. Good memories. And yeah, I just found your channel a few weeks ago and been going back through your analysis. Really enjoyed all your stuff. Thank you so much. This is something that me and Liam say regularly, where like, I wouldn't say it's like we fantasize, but it is something where we say like, we would love it if like people just stumbled onto our channel and they went, oh my God, like this is like a treasure trove. This is exactly what I've been looking for. Like all these videos and all these games that I've played, and these guys do it. So like we can't get enough of like comments like that, really genuinely. So thank you very much.
I think as well, like you look at things like our analysis series, they don't do the best in terms of views, but we're never going to stop doing them because like if you really love a game, like a choice-based game, we're going to be the people that do in-depth analysis and videos, episode by episode, breaking every little thing down. And if you found our channel and you wanted that, you've just got a whole library to get through. So yeah, like, you know, hopefully there's enough videos in there for you to crack on for a while, you know.
Is that Marvel Dow says, can't wait for the Until Dawn remake. Same here, brother. Arkham, do you remember that Quantic Dream is still meant to, Star Wars Eclipse. The announcement came 2 years ago. We have no news since then. Little update on that, because I have seen some news. Apparently the lead writer for Quantic Dream for that game, and he was also the writer for Detroit Become Human, has left the studio to go and form his own company. Did I tell you that?
No.
Yeah. This is news for him as well. So he's left the studio. Now, I always knew that this game was going to take a long time because they do put a lot of effort into their branching and stuff like that. But I hope that that doesn't set it back further because, as we've said, we do like a Quantic Dream game. And, you know, ideally we'd be playing it sooner rather than later.
Yeah, it's been 6 years since Detroit. So, yeah, I am yearning for another Quantic Dream game.
What else we got? Imagine Danny DeVito filming Wendigo mocap.
I would love that. Just the green screen footage behind him. And instead of like, you know, the Wendigo roaring, he just jumps on and says like, can I offer you an egg in these trying times or something?
Davini, I'm not sure if you answered this before, but what do you think about the fact that people can die in exploration in Directive 820? People on Reddit are really mixed. Is this confirmed? Like,
I don't know if it's confirmed.
Is this confirmed?
I mean, we made a video on it, didn't we? And we said like it would have to be done in circumstance, and it would hinder collector people. You know, like let's say like you want to get all the pictures, all the totems, whatever it is. If you could die by exploration, you would have such a rigid, scared playthrough, and it could hinder your experience of the game. So I feel like the way around it is that we came up with an example, didn't we? Where let's say you can find a note and it says, oh, the monster, the purple goo it hides in ventilation shafts. So maybe you're going through a corridor and there's like a blood stain on the wall underneath a ventilation shaft. So like there is a clue that you can find that you know you can't walk there. So like if you do, maybe then it leads you to QTEs where then you could potentially die. So I think you need a few blankets, a few clues to stop you from like going to those places. But if you, I don't think it can be harsh as just, you know, oh, if you walk to the left-hand side of the screen, you're off, you're dead. And I think that could really rub fans off the, you know, the wrong way. So yeah, like it's got to be handled very delicately. But I do think there is possibility in having death by exploration.
What's this by Simple Chat? Now that they're officially doing collabs, like with Dead by Daylight, what other franchise scream? That's my answer. Give me a Supermassive Scream game, and I will be made up. I'll be so on board.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre for me. I would love that.
Yeah. So I've even said about like the fact that because they've teamed up with Dead by Daylight, like what's to stop them like bringing other killers in? But maybe that would detract from Frank Stone. So, but yeah, give me a Scream game. I'd absolutely love that. I've become like a fan of that franchise in like the past year or so. Jack, do you have any tattoos? No, they're just not my thing. Just not. I've got clean skin. Oh, this could cause a fight. Of the two of you, who is the most masculine? Who is the most feminine?
I don't know. I honestly think
being the gentleman.
Yeah,
I'll let Liam speak first.
I don't know. I mean, it's probably somewhere similar, but I don't know. Like I openly admit I'm not a very masculine person, so I probably would be more feminine. I mean, you could probably tell by the hair alone. So yeah, I mean, I might be the more feminine one.
And I'll accept that answer.
Yeah, we can move on. You know, we'll diffuse it. I'll say I'm the. Is it? I always thought Jack was British until Liam told me he wasn't. Yeah, I did say in the stream. No, he's from. Yeah, I said that. No, he's not British. He's from Essex.
Oh, of course you did.
Yeah, which, yeah, that's not. He thinks he's British. He's not. He's from Essex.
We're independent.
Exactly.
Are you happy the Until Dawn remake comes before Directive 8020? I'm not particularly bothered either way, to be honest with you.
Honestly, in terms of selfishness, yeah, I'm happy, but that's because of like the video prep and stuff and the analysis that's going to happen. It works out better for our timeline. I think there was something up here, wasn't there, that said, there was a.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, they did. Oh no, it's this one. They technically did Ashley's death by exploration, so I think they'll do it. Yeah, that is true. Does Ashley have an exploration death?
It'll be. Are you on about the trap?
Oh,
the trap door.
Yeah.
Is that like?
Oh yeah. Why am I thinking Ashley Tisdale? Her name's Rachel. Yeah, I'm thinking House of Ashes here.
Oh right.
You are right. Yeah. But even then, that's how it should be done. There's a clue to warn you about opening the trap door, and I think that was really clever the way they did that.
If I remember correctly, Supermassive said they're making a third big cinematic game like The Quarry or Until Dawn. Any concepts you would want to see in it? One of them, yes, which has already been confirmed, and that's the fact that it's not going to be teenagers in this one. Which, do you know what I mean? Like it has sort of, I wouldn't say it's died a death, but it's become very familiar. I know you get it in movies where like it's sort of typically young people, but I certainly like that. It's not necessarily going to be teen horror.
Oh yeah, I'd want them to steer really far away from 80s horror tropes.
Yes.
Like werewolves, group of horny kids getting killed off one by one. I think it's a little overdone, and I just would like something a bit fresher, something I've not really seen before. Create a new monster, a new villain, you know. A fight, that's what I'm hoping. I know you're trying to do it, man, but you know, you're not going to allow us to fight.
We're too professional.
Exactly.
What are some of your final predictions for the casting of Frank Stone? I'm buying a PlayStation 5 just to play this game. Fair play. Final predictions. Ooh. In what sense? Like out of 10, like how good it's going to be? I'm assuming that's what.
Or just what's going to happen in the story.
Right.
I reckon Frank Stone is actually Danny DeVito. No, this is the theme. We think, didn't we? We were watching the new trailer that came out yesterday, right? And you've kind of got a theory about how the people that, you know, like you've got like Rob Green, Bonnie and Jaime Rivera. They're the 80s timeline. The prologue's the 60s. But there's the other bunch of people that we're seeing, right? they're wearing modern clothes, so they're. Oh yeah, and then the dialogue confirms it as well, right? Like 40 years ago. So we're gonna get an extra modern timeline, and it could be that like they're discovering the film that the 80s kids made. So yeah, like it could be that your choices was it this? Didn't you say this? Like the choices you do in the 80s timeline could actually have an effect on the modern one. Which it's quite cool. There's definitely merit to that.
I think the idea being in that like the movie that they make in the 80s is what the characters are watching in the present timeline. So, which is sort of like an Inception thing, isn't it? It's like we're playing a game where they're making a film, and then there's people in that game watching the film. It's just
Anyway, see you in a bit, CKM. I saw you saying goodbye now, so thank you for popping in.
Yeah, catch you later, dude.
What's your favourite food or dessert? It's tough. I go through phases. I'm not gonna lie. The basic side of me wants to say I'm a big fan of fried chicken, so give me like some Cajun Southern fried chicken strips or something any day of the week. That is what I'm feeling right now. Dessert-wise, though, I'm gonna say a Black Forest Gâteau.
Oh, favorite food for me. Of late, I've like got this thing for burritos. Sort of Mexican food in general. Like I like nachos and fajitas and stuff, but probably like burritos. Just something meaty, but with something like sort of like little peppers and onion and maybe spice. Like I like spicy food. As for dessert, I'm partial to a cheesecake.
I was going to say, talking of cheese, just a wheel of cheese. It can be dessert, it can be a meal. You can run down a hill after it. It's very versatile.
What we got?
Who is most likely to get married at Disneyland? Okay, so out of the two of us, who's most likely? Now there is a school of thought here. You're engaged.
Yes.
But have you got a venue set?
No.
Then it's you. Then it's you. Because I don't know if I'm going to get married, so I can't say it's me. And also, Disney girls aren't really my type, so it's probably not going to be me.
I'll take the L on that one and just say me. Yeah.
L is like Disney fans here are going to rage, but yeah.
What do you think about the shape-shifting alien? Oh, sorry, no, monster with a hat. Why do you guys want to kill my boy Chris in the movie? For me, because he has such a good death, and I really want to unlock the Dark Ashley arc. That's why. I really like Chris. Chris is probably the one that I relate to the most throughout the cast. But it's just a hard death, isn't it?
It is, and I feel like he is the lovable comedian, and I feel like what better tool in horror to make you hate Ashley than have like the shy girl come out her shell, backstab the comedian we all love, and become Dark Ashley. I think from a story perspective, I feel Ashley ends up being kind of blandish if you don't have Dark Ashley. I feel like you need Dark Ashley. I just love the idea of Jess and Emily being the hated two, and then actually becoming quite good at the end, and then Ashley being the shy girl, and then switching sides. I love the perspective shift. I just think that's fascinating. I feel like I want Dark Ashley in. To get Dark Ashley, it comes at the expense of Chris, I'm afraid.
Davini, what do you make about the shape-shifting alien in Directive 8020? I think it's really cool. I'm absolutely sold on the idea. I love it. It's like I've said a lot of times, it's gonna add drama to the dialogue scenes. It's gonna make us paranoid as players, which I completely want, weirdly. But I'm just thinking about whoever it is that streams it. You guys are going to be in the chat. You're going to have these situations, especially when they're timed as well. Like the choices are timed, and you've got to think on your feet. Who am I trusting here? Is this the alien? Is this a genuine person? Like, I completely love the idea. I'm so glad that they're going down this route.
I myself think like, the shape-shifting element I love. I'm unsure about the kind of the crazy mushroom head like people. It feels a little bit to me like they're ripping off The Last of Us. But maybe they're going to do something different with it. If we're just going to get like the cordyceps zombie people, it's just going to seem a little ripped off to me. But yeah, like, let's just see, you know. Are you living close to each other on different parts of Britain? Very far. We've met midway for a bit of a uni reunion trip where we're doing some channel stuff as well, which you guys have to look forward to.
Yeah.
But we're pretty far actually. Like we're almost at different extremes of the UK. So yeah, we're not close at all.
Southwest, northwest.
Yeah.
So, perfectly timed. When are we getting a house tour? Well,
ice cream van, everyone.
With there is already a video about our house. Or mansion, we should say. So definitely go look for that. I don't know what playlist it would be in, but it's it's called like MTV Cribs video.
Yeah.
And you get to see our house in that. But yeah, put a pin in that because, like I say, we have met up, we have been doing stuff, so you can expect something else coming down the pipeline as well. Disneyland or Universal Studio. I'm not clued up on either. Like, I don't really know.
Oh yeah, like
Universal.
I've not been to either because I've not left Europe yet. But I probably would. It's a difficult one. I'd say Universal probably sounds better, but I'm a big Toy Story fan, so like I would love to go to like the Toy Story parts of Disneyland or Disney World. I always get mixed up between the two. I think they're different.
I didn't really get brought up on either.
Yeah.
So in terms of like kids shows that I watched when I was younger, I'd remember like watching Scooby-Doo a lot, which probably explains a lot in terms of my preferences for like, you know, mystery and stuff like that and who the culprit is and whatnot. What other things did I watch? There was Noddy when I was like really young. It's such a
big up Noddy.
The Tweenies, I think. Do you guys know the Tweenies? Maybe you don't if you're not from the UK.
Tell you what, for those that are British out there, and I've told you this, but one fun fact is I once got rejected to go on CBBC Raven.
Oh, Raven.
It was my favourite show as a kid. The guy with the Scottish guy dressed as like the Blackbird with the staff. Yes. I got rejected to be on that, and I was fuming as a kid because like I had to sit and watch the season at home when I should have been on it, and the kid won the Staff of Power when it should have been mine. But never mind, I'm not bitter or anything. It's fun. Next question.
How many British fans do you have that you know of?
They are our second.
They're our second biggest audience, but we don't really know, like, unless they're in the comments and they tell us that they're British. We don't know. All we know is that I think our biggest audience is American, then British, and then maybe like Germany or Canada or something.
I think so.
I think they're the top three.
Brazil's up there weirdly as well, which is cool.
What are some of your favourite TV shows? I'll start. So like one of them for me is Inside Number 9. Now, anyone that's not seen that, it's an anthology series. So you get something different every week. Sometimes it's horror thriller, sometimes it's comedy. It's not too dissimilar to like it's American Horror Story. You know, where like the actors like come up every now and then because the two people that write the show appear in it as well. But it usually ends on a twist. So like what you think you've been watching, it's like the rug's just pulled from under you, and I just completely love that sort of thing in storytelling. So there's that. Friends is a big one. What else? There's gonna be like crime stuff that I've watched. I don't know. It's tough to think on the spot.
For me, I've got to say Brooklyn Nine-Nine's up there. Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I like Stranger Things, Twin Peaks. Misfits is a big one for me, especially the first 3 seasons. Jack's recently got, and this is what we're watching outside channel stuff, The Traitors on BBC. Because it's like that whole detective working out who's lying, who's telling the truth. Yeah, like I find that stuff fascinating. So yeah, you know, those are definitely some ones up there. Friends as well. There are like loads, to be honest, but yeah, to be able to think of them on the spot, a bit of a mission. But yeah, they're definitely those ones.
Of the two of you, who is the most forgetful? I don't know how to read that because it could be very sinister in that who is who is basically forgotten more easily, or is it who has the worst memory? So,
oh wait,
are you up to antics again?
No, well, it's forgetful and forgettable, right? That's the difference, right?
Yes, I should know. Yeah, I did English, folks.
Yeah, so
I should know this.
But forgetful,
probably me.
I was gonna say me.
Really?
Well, I'm the kind of person where, like, at work, it's really busy and I have to write down a million. If I don't write it down, I forget. Like, if someone he says, oh, can you do something on lunch break? I'm like, yeah, I'll do it later. They need to remind me because 10 minutes go by, I've forgotten it.
Yeah.
So, like, people find it funny, but I have to write things in a calendar so I remember what I'm doing. Like,
right.
If I make a plan, like, for in a week, I have to write it down or I'm just not going to show up. Like, if it's not written down for me, I have to refer to my calendar so I know things. I am a pretty forgetful person. But I mean, it might be that we're both really
I mean, it's funny. I do write stuff down as well.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll write lists and, you know, things I need to do, things I need to get down. But I don't know that maybe it's just that I'm just hyper aware of it. But when we're like recording videos and you're in full flow, you're talking and stuff, and then a character's name just doesn't come to you, and you're like,
yeah,
oh my god, I feel like that happens to me a lot when we're recording. So that's why I put myself forward.
Cats or dogs? I'm cats. Jack's dogs. I love both. I have a dog, but at heart, I've grown up with cats. I've got a cat tattooed on me. I'm just cats. Yeah, I'm just a massive cat person.
Who goes out more and has more fashion from you two? I think fashion is subjective, but I'd say you've got more. What's the word I'm looking for?
Flamboyance. No, I don't know.
What's the word I'm looking for? It's not a negative.
Yeah.
I'd say I'm more conventional.
Yeah.
In my dress, Liam.
I'm a bit more like
alternative. Liam's slightly more alternative.
Yeah, fashion's subjective. Because I would say you're rightfully to say yourself. I'm rightfully to say me.
Yeah.
As for who goes out more,
it varies, I think, because I'd say in your hometown,
I live in a smaller town.
I'd say you go out more.
Yeah.
But then maybe I travel more.
Yeah, I think so.
Read into that.
You and your fiance say. Someone earlier said, "Have I seen Event Horizon?" Because you said that the inspirations for Directive 8020 are The Thing, Event Horizon, and Aliens. I've seen all three of them, and I love Event Horizon. The Sam Neill film. I saw it for the first time during COVID. Actually, brilliant film. So yeah, Directive 8020's taken inspirations from some great places there. You have to write things down at work all the time. I can't remember shit. I mean, fair play. Brunettes are better than gingers. Sorry, not sorry. I don't know. Gingers get a bad rap, but you know what? Like, I'm friends with a lot of ginger people, and you know, I think redheads are beautiful. I'm not gonna lie. Also, I do have a few ginger hairs in my beard, so I've got to back them. I'm a secret one of them.
I like to think that I have blonde beard hairs.
Yeah.
But it's been confirmed to me that actually they're grey. So
yeah, there you go.
Again, I'm on the decline, guys.
Yeah.
I'm hitting 30 in November.
I have a few whites in here, by the way. Like, I'm getting my first few whites every now and then. I'll pick them out. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
For fashion, I like Liam's better, but that's only because it's recent. Yeah, no, that's fair. You know, you've got to back your own fashion if mine's similar to yours. You know.
I mean, you are wrong, son.
Yeah. School got you waking up at 5:30. Shut the school down. What school's doing that? You said you're from Mexico. What are they doing in Mexico?
Oh my god! Like, when did I wake up? When did you wake up for school? I probably woke up for school at like between 7:15 and 7:30.
I don't remember.
Because I usually I'd walk to friend's house and then we'd walk together.
Yeah.
So I'm probably talking 7:15, 7:30.
Are you guys aliens from Directive 820 and you ate the real ones? No.
Yeah.
Jack's pushing 30. I mean, I am as well. Like,
I mean, guys, look at the thumbnail. Like, look at the faces.
yeah,
Are you saying that that's what our faces are?
yeah, exactly.
Right.
Right. Should we grab one from here?
Let's do from from.
Well,
some of the
Sonia's here.
posts.
So what did Sonia ask?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
there's a few here. Are you going to be asking us questions? No, this is our show. We're here about us. We don't care about you guys. How are we both keeping? Awful. Next question.
Honestly, all good, really. Just generally fine. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'd say so. Good days, bad days. But you know what? I'm going to say they've mostly been good lately. I'm pretty happy at the moment. How different would you say your lives are now that since your last Q&A and since you started the channel?
Since the last Q&A, not a lot.
I'd say my hair's got longer.
Your hair's got
longer. I've got taller.
Since the start of the channel is interesting though. Since the start of the channel, well, I mean, obviously you have to put more time into the channel, right?
Yeah.
So like, as well as like day to day, you're thinking about your job, you're thinking about other things like you know, relationships, keeping up with people and stuff. The channel is a big part of our daily life, like whether it's answering comments, promoting, researching, editing. Do you know what I mean? Like, see, in that sense, yeah, it's definitely changed. All for the better as well, though, because I think it's just good, like having that passion project, having something else to focus on day to day rather than something like mundane. Like adulthood is quite mundane.
Yeah.
Like if you're not going away somewhere, you need something to, you know, keep the fires burning. You know, when you're.
I will admit, for me as well, like I can't stop. I am a workaholic. If I stop for a moment and I'm left with my thoughts, I can't handle that. So I just have to be working. So like, if I come back from work and I don't have a plan, I have to be editing or recording or doing something, you know. So yeah, the channel is just a really good vice for that. But also, just even without all that stuff, I just really enjoy doing it. So
yeah. How do you decide which one of you replies to each comment you get?
We kind of just jump in and grab whichever ones. I will admit though that I guess because I'm the background guy, Jack is good as gold and will grab the majority. I'd say you grab a decent 80% of them.
I mean, this is something that I take on though, because I like, there's 2 videos a week and like a short, sometimes more videos if there's breaking news.
Yeah.
So I'm hyper aware of how much work Liam puts in on editing. So I think it's only fair that I then try to take as much of other stuff as possible. So like the promotion and the comments. And obviously as the channel grows, we're getting more and more comments. So like it's natural that, do you know what I mean? But obviously Liam wants to talk to you guys as well. So it'd be unfair, you know, to have you all to myself, you know? So yeah, I'd say that's what we do there.
But yeah, we'll put a pin on that. Should we answer some of these? Yeah. Sonny's asked a few, but we'll get through some of these. What is your favourite dog breed? You know what?
I can't answer that.
I have a Spressel.
I can't answer it.
But I took a weird poll thing the other day, and it was like a tournament, and you eliminate the dogs and you pick your favourites. And the final was between a Border Collie, which, because I do like a collie, and a German Shepherd. And I picked the German Shepherd. Like, I don't think I could own one because, like, you know, like, for example, you could have a favourite dog breed, but it might not match who you are and your lifestyle. You have to get a dog that suits yourself, I think. But yeah, like if I was in a position to have a German Shepherd, I would love that. I think they're great dogs.
Yeah, I generally can't answer that. You know how big a fan of dogs I am. I love them all. In terms of like dogs in my life, my first ever dog was a Jack Russell. Obviously, currently with like Laura and Bella, we have like Sharpei and Bella. And my mum and dad also like have a Jack Russell. I don't think that's Scottish. Then a Jack Russell. I have a Jack Russell Dachshund cross. And I'm like, you know, I love him as well. So I can't pick. I'm sorry. Which characters from Until Dawn do you think would survive the events of House of Ashes?
I guess Sam and Mike are your prime two, right? Because like athleticism is
who's action oriented?
It's Sam and Mike.
Sam and Mike.
Yeah. Sam could probably climb out. They could probably, like, they're crazy climbers. They could climb back to like the surface dead easy, can't they?
That I don't think anyone else would. What kind of music genres do you like, and what musicians do you like? For me, I like what I like. I know when I've been asked this question before, I sort of give a naff answer because I'm like, there's not a particular band or genre that I'm into. In terms of what I typically listen to, I do listen to film scores quite a lot. So I'm listening to like a lot of instrumental now, whereas maybe when I was younger, it was sort of obviously more lyrical. But maybe I'm sort of slightly showing my age a little bit. Maybe I'm like a 50-year-old in a 30-year-old's body. But like there is something I do love going back to like the 80s, the 90s and the noughties. I'm very nostalgic like that with music. So there is good stuff now, but I will frequently revisit some tracks back from there as well.
Yeah. I just like construction noises, to be honest. So, nah, for real. The main three are like rock, metal, and indie. I love that kind of genre. But yeah, honestly, I like everything. It would be interesting if I was to share like my Spotify playlist, actually, so people can see what I listen to. But my favorite bands at the moment, Wolf Alice, who I rep all the time, of Monsters and Men. I love that folky sound. And I've been listening to a lot of like Mamas and the Papas, 60s, 70s band, the ones that do California Dreaming. I have Mamas and the Papas on repeat all the time at the moment. So yeah, no, I'm really into those bands.
I'm guessing you've played Hidden Agenda, Thoughts, kind of the black sheep of Supermassive. You showed it again.
Yeah.
You showed it to me, didn't you? I've obviously only played it once. From what I thought, generally sound. I mean, I've always been calling for more crime games from Supermassive or from any studio, really, in a choice-based sense.
I do think the party game aspect was a bit hit and miss because I'm the kind of person, if I blind play the game, I want to solve, the crime. Yeah. I want to find out who murdered who. But when you play the party game, if you used to play it blind, a lot of it is like, oh, make sure you arrest this person. That is your like little mission.
Sure.
And then you might not agree with that. So like, it's like, do you want to play the party game or do you want to have a blind experience? Because you almost can't do both. Because if we played the game and then I'm like trying to suggest, oh, I think we should arrest this person. You're like, well, why? We know they're innocent. And I'm like,
which is telling that they've not brought that back into, say, DPO.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They've gone for shared story and stuff like that.
Nice little experiment, but I think there's limitations to the experiment big time.
Yeah. I honestly thought you guys were in your 20s. We are in our 20s. I'm not for much longer, but I'm still in my 20s. Like, I can put that stake in the ground. I'm still in my 20s. What are your favourite cat breeds?
I just like a short hair. Like, is that what they're called? Like, is that what Ruby? I don't really. I know you don't say tabby or tortoiseshell because they have more colour patterns, aren't they? I don't really know. I just like your standard British short hair cat, I guess. But I had a Siamese cat when I was a kid, and I absolutely love that thing. So I'm really Siamese cats as well.
I don't really know cat breeds.
Yeah. Tiger.
Yeah,
tiger.
I like big cats.
Yeah.
Last thing I want to say is I love your work so much. Thank you for making me entertained by a week. Hidden PC Guru. Just joking.
Yeah. No, I mean we love Hidden Object Guru.
Yeah.
The guy, like, when we came onto the scene, we were like, this guy is like top bar. This is the guy that we kind of want to like be, not like, but we want to kind of like chase his numbers almost and kind of be, have that shade of success that he achieves. And the funny thing is that he reached out to us before we even reached out to him. And he's been like an absolute saint for our channel. I think he really enjoys coming on as well. We got on really well with the guy. So yeah, no, I love everything about Hidden Object Guru. He deserves his flowers, honestly.
Didn't he? I think the story was that didn't he follow? There was an account that followed us on Insta called Hidden Object Guru, and we thought to ourselves like, is this the Hidden Object Guru?
Yeah, I didn't believe it.
And then it was mad because I don't know how far in we were, but we was like still. I mean, we're still a small channel now, but like smaller back then, and it was just we just thought it was crazy.
What? But also, thank you for the compliment. I kind of just compliment about us. I just went and spoke about Hidden Object Guru, but I do. We don't tire of those comments. That's really nice you said that. What is our theory on 2D mechs? I can buy it. I think that, the scene at the end where someone picks up the mask, that to me is like maybe it's the mask that has the. I don't know, but I just feel like if H.H. Chambers is in one timeline and then Demet does it again, maybe it is that, there's like a possession at play.
I think that it's one of them. It's open to interpretation, because I could equally see the that ending as like a more sort of symbolic thing, in that there's always going to be another one.
Yeah.
Where you had the Manny Sherman from Holmes, the Hector Monday from, and so on.
It's just someone cleaning the beach.
Yeah,
that's not overthinker. Someone's just cleaning the beach.
So yeah, I'm not sure I subscribe to the whole theory personally. Because to be honest, I'd have liked them to maybe spell it out a bit more. But if you do look at the game, you do think to yourself, well, how on earth does one guy like get around the island like as quick as he does? And then obviously, the ending, someone else picks up the mask. So yeah, I do get it. Thank you, Sonia. Thank you very much. Do you think we'll ever get a game where we play as the killer? That would be fun.
Not in DPA.
No.
I don't think we will. Like, no, I can't see. I mean, it would have to be a complete side project, but weirdly, I don't think so. I think you just get more of a kick out of, like Survivor.
Unless, going back to this Scream idea that I'm just pitching from the sidelines here, is that if they did a Supermassive Scream game, we know in Scream that there's a cast of characters and one of them is Ghostface, right? So maybe you're playing as a character that is Ghostface, but it's like Heavy Rain, so you don't know that you are Ghostface, but you are.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't necessarily, know it at the time.
Birthday video.
Birthday video?
Nah.
Probably not.
Nah.
No, maybe a poster. I don't know. Maybe something, but I doubt it. Did you play? Oh, do you want to go back to the thingy?
Yeah,
comments?
We can do.
We'll go back to some of these.
Do we play VR? We're just going to outright say no.
Yeah.
We had Hidden Object Guru actually again come on our channel to talk about Rush of Blood, because we just don't have a VR headset. So, I mean, I'll happily look at what, the games on YouTube, but I'm not going to play them. So we'll go back to some of Sonia's questions. We've got the last one. We did the comment one, didn't we? So the next one is, what kind of things are we hoping for to see in your book? Bear in mind that the story is an animal fantasy and the cast is mostly wolves and cats. Well, cats for me, honestly. Just give me cats. But honestly, I don't really know, and like I don't go into things hoping to see. I just want to see what you do, and then I kind of just want to absolutely do it. I don't want to bear any influence in,
Here. It's your creative project, and you should have full ownership of it, and also like do what you want to do, and then you'll be happy with the product. I think as soon as you start asking yourself what others want, you might then get lost in.
Sorry, I just want to skip to this one. We've got none other than my mate Lee, who's got come in. Who was the genius behind the camera on the house tour? I don't know. I think it was Roy that did that. Yeah. So no, it was Lee. Lee is one of my good mates, and he is the voice behind the camera in the Cribs video. So he's an absolute saint.
Did we?
I hope you're doing all right, mate.
Because Quantic Dreams has more cause and effect, do you think they are better developers than Supermassive?
That is a difficult.
It depends how you want to answer it, because
individual game, they are like the goats. They actually are. Like when you look at branching, they're just phenomenal. No one comes close to them. I mean, maybe Supermassive Games do, but it's just the fact that to make the masterpieces they do, they wait 6, 8, 10 years, don't they? And it's so realistically, look at it in our lifetime, we're probably only going to be able to play that for more Quantic Dream games.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That is a massive thing.
So as a consumer, you prefer like Supermassive still offer very good quality graphics and branching and stuff, but you get it on a more frequent basis.
Sorry, I just had to skip the last question. Oh my god. Yeah, but before I get those though, I will answer this one that you asked on the post.
Yeah,
How did I meet Anya? Well, so it's myself that met Anya, and I introduced her into the channel. But now, you know how I said when I met Jack, like these games that we like are ones that are still quite rare and niche, and it's tough to bring it up to someone at random. You don't just walk into a pub or a bar and you're like, who here plays Until Dawn and The Walking Dead, Telltale. So like when I loved Until Dawn, I was absolutely obsessed with it. I didn't know anyone else who knew the game or played it, so I kind of did what I did back then with social anxiety, and I went online to find other people, and I just went on the Until Dawn Wikia, went in the community there, and Anya was one of those people, and we've just formed this sister brotherhood, ever since, and we've always just kept in touch. And when I started the channel, I just knew she'd be interested in being a guest for some of these things, because likewise, she plays all the DPAs. She loves Life is Strange, so she definitely shares the taste for the games that we do. So yeah.
Apart from Scream, what other IP do you want SMG to make?
So I've said Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, I can't think of. I'm all in for Scream. I can't think of another one.
Yeah, no, I mean, there are loads out there, but I actually would steer away from IPs.
Yeah.
I like ground up projects. I feel like when you have to do an IP, you have to respect and be delicate around the fan base and the story. And I feel like there's too much I don't know, it's riskier. I feel there's more eggshells on the ground, and I feel like if you do a project from the ground up, you've got more liberty and freedom.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like coming back to Star Wars Eclipse, is that, don't get me wrong, we love Quantic Dream games, don't we? But we're skeptical about the fact that they're using Star Wars. I mean, I'm not a massive Star Wars fan anyway, but to take an IP like that, I think that they've been at their most successful when they've done their own thing.
Just look how big Directive 8020 is. That is their own idea.
Yeah. What is the story of the inside joke in your last Q&A where Jack asked Liam, "What are your hobbies?" during the "How did you meet?" I don't even remember saying that in the How do you remember this stuff?
That is incredible. It is funny because this is an inside joke, and I don't remember you guys. But I'll happily say, we when Jack and I met in the first year of uni, we were at this house party, and we're not going to name names. There's no chance in hell he's going to watch this video, so it's fine. And I don't care if he did. If you do, this is the story because it is the truth. But this guy will say, I don't know, person and I were drinking vodka, and person was complaining that I was pouring the drinks too strong. So person poured my vodka, and it was brutal. And I had too much vodka and I passed out. I've only ever been blackout drunk twice. That was one of them. And I remember passing out on the sofa, and I woke up from my blackout and just saw person still awake and alive. And he was talking to one of the other girls at this flat who was at the party, and from memory, I think she was quite a pretty girl. She was, had beauty on her side. And then person said, "So what are your hobbies?" And I must have been passed up for an hour. And I laughed because I was after an hour of chatting this girl up, you're at, "What are your hobbies?" So I just laughed at him and then passed out again. So I just kind of had a moment of sobriety just to laugh at him and then fall back to sleep. But I remember there were a lot of stuff I forgot about that night, but one of the things I remembered are, "What are your hobbies?" So we always just jokingly say that. I can't remember in what context we used it on the channel, but that is the story of what are your hobbies.
And because of obviously where we are at the moment, we're literally going down memory lane.
Yeah.
And there could be several episodes. I mean, I don't think we'd ever do this. Maybe we will if you guys want it. But there are several university stories that we could tell you from just random things from back in the day. But that's literally what we're doing right now. Really, it's sort of going down memory lane, and certain things are coming back to us when you go certain places and stuff like that. So yeah.
I forgot to do QTE before passing out. Yeah, I did. It was a heartbeat sequence, and I fucked it. If Supermassive Games made a game where the villain or monster was a swan, would Liam live stream it? Nah, Jack would be the one playing that. Fuck that. Nah, man. Like, you know what? It segues into another one. We've both got individual questions here.
Yeah.
My one is, hang on, my comments have froze off, so I'll go back on it. Oh, you've got it
Why,
here.
why do you have a fear of swans?
Oh, it's embarrassing, but you've asked, and I will answer. It is all because of a well-known PS1 game called Rugrats: The Search for Reptar. And okay, this is going to sound silly. It's a PS1 game. It's a Rugrats game. You're playing as a fucking baby in it. But Jesus Christ, like, you go through this, you go out in your garden to find something. I think you lose, like, the dog or something. And then there's like a maze you've got to get through. Why a maze is in your garden, I don't know. Why a maze full of swans is in your garden, I don't know. But because it's PS1 and it's all glitchy graphics, like the swan can walk through the walls, but you can't. So the swan has freedom just to attack you. And you're just getting attacked. Like these swans are just moving through these maze walls while you're like going through these claustrophobic like spaces. And as a kid, it really stirred me up, you know. And then I'm pretty sure there was a time where, like, the week after, I saw like swans at the park, and one like chased me, and I was like, no, I hate these animals. I hate these birds. They're royally protected by the Queen, and I fucking hate them so much. Next question.
Believe it or not, where we are, guys, we are near some swans.
Yeah, we saw some earlier. It was brutal.
There could be some content there. We'll have to see.
Jesus Christ, man, it's not been a good day.
So I'll answer. So how did you and Laura meet? Funny story, really. Very first lecture at university. You're going in. You know, you don't know anyone. You just take a seat. And we're just like filling stuff out. And I think she made like a sort of, you know, she just said to me, "Oh, you're from Essex," and I was like, "Yeah, I'm from Essex." And we was chatting. There were some other people that I'd sort of started talking to in the corridor. I was, you know, we was going to see Gone Girl. Gone Girl was coming out at the cinema, and I think that it was that she'd be better telling this story to me. But I think she said something like she was just basically trying to drop hints that she would like to come. I think she said something like, "Oh, yeah, I'd really like to see that movie." And me being, you know, complete prat that I am, just completely oblivious. Like back in the day, I was like, "Oh dear, oh that's great."
Yeah.
And then I'd carry on talking to them, and I was like a complete arse. But obviously, look, a year later, I did put the charm on. I redeemed myself. So yeah, that is basically how we met in the very first lecture at uni. So
you know what? I remember like one of the first house parties we had when Laura came. I think back then I smoked, and I went out on the balcony to have a smoke because you guys had that really awesome old house. You know,
yeah, cable yard.
Yeah, and Laura came out with me and was just like, "Oh yeah, nice to meet you," kind of like, you know, because it was the first time we had a one-on-one chat. And he's like, yeah. Jack says you're a really awesome guy. I was like, "Oh, go on." I just got the fishing rod out. I was like, "What else does he say?" Yeah, I was like reading that in. But yeah, it was funny though. We have one here from my brother that says, "What does persiflage mean?" I imagine that's how it's pronounced, persiflage.
Persiflage.
That is
a Google job.
That is when a guy called Percy camouflages, I imagine. That is what I imagine it would be.
And I imagine that's what Google says. So we're going to move on.
Yeah, exactly. What were you guys like when you were kids? Said by Dimitar.
Go on, you go first.
You know what? Like, I mean, it's weird. I've moved a lot, you know. So I've been big fish in a small pond, or I've been able to be confident, and then I've been like a small fish in a massive ocean. So I've been an array of things, to be honest. But you know what? I was actually like I mentioned, I did have social anxiety, and I was a really shy kid. And I remember I used to have nightmares about doing presentations at school. Like if a teacher would ask me a question, I would blush. I'd have a big blushing problem, and I would have like something in my throat, and I actually couldn't physically speak. My stomach would go in nuts. Even like if I'm not in front of the class, teacher just asks me a question, and a lot of times I actually couldn't. And yeah, I remember I had teachers that would get really angry at me because for not speaking, I'd actually just be like, "Nah, it's just a confidence thing." Yeah, so like, you know, I'm actually proud of myself because I've come a long way on how confident I've become from that little shy wreck of a kid, to be honest. But also, you know, a little bit of a little shit as well, to be honest. I'm the youngest sibling, so the jester of the family. So yeah, like I've also taken some practical jokes too far. So yeah, no, I've been a variety of things, to be honest.
Yeah. As for me, like, I don't know, very outdoorsy. I certainly liked getting out, being with me mates, playing football, just generally hanging out. In terms of like, well, I suppose we've covered school really. Probably, yeah, less confident, very friendly. Pleases, thank yous. I don't know. I really don't. It's hard to like observe yourself.
Yeah.
When you know you've changed, but to go back and observe your old self just feels like so foreign.
For sure.
But I'd say like, yeah, just a less confident version of me now.
Yeah.
Is perhaps the way I'd perhaps sum it up. Other people would probably be better at answering that question. What have we got? What is your favorite horror sub genre?
That's a tough one. Probably psychological thriller kind of type thing, I'd say.
Yes.
Just like I say, I always go back to the fact, like, I like eerie versus jump scares. I hate just the horror where the story has to be there. If the story's weak and I'm just getting like jump scared every 10 seconds, it really loses like that appeal. So yeah, just something where the story's good.
Yeah. The ones that stick out for me are like your saws, so maybe like gore. Even saying that though, I think that's because it's partly driven by who is Jigsaw.
Yeah.
So like maybe not gore. Home Invasion sometimes can be done like really well. I think Home Invasion's good.
There's one called Ready or Not, which is like a home invasion.
I've seen that.
Ready or Not is so good, man.
Yeah. But then almost like I said, I do like Scream. There is actually a TV series as well called Slasher, which I guess is sort of gore as well, which maybe I think it's an American show, so maybe if you're American you might have heard of it. But yeah, Slasher, that's something that I watch quite a lot as well.
What's our highest level of education? Both bachelor's art degrees?
Both bachelor's, me in English.
French for me. And I don't do anything with that with my job, but still, I have a French degree.
What's the correct shortening for the channel's name? That or that? We just generally say BEP. I don't know if you guys can see it. Can you see BEP in the bottom left corner? I know we can.
Yeah.
We just, when we first started the channel, it was Butterfly Effect Podcast. But whenever I introduced it in a video, I always said the Butterfly Effect Podcast.
Yeah. So you might be stepping on the toes of the Black Eyed Peas a little bit, but
And I think the only it's true. Yeah. But the thing is that the only reason we did it is because there was another channel called the Butterfly Effect Podcast. But we've got way more subs than them now. We're the dominant force, so I put the word "the" in there. It's like a mark of dominance, just to add the word "the" in there. What was your favourite season of Slasher? I watched the first two, and the fave was my second. I'll tell you what, Slashing, remind me of the Killers, and I think I can remember the first season. Is the second season where like a lot of the characters are based in like some flats? I really can't remember. The killer in season 4. I like the. You know what? I'm just gonna Google this. Slasher seasons. Because I know there is one that's sort of like loosely based on the Jack the Ripper one, and I'm sort of like half tempted to like go and watch that. But yeah, Slasher TV series. So what have we got? Oh yeah, so the Ripper. That's right. So that's series 5, Flesh and Blood. You know what? It's the first one. It's the first series. I'll go with the first series.
The Chancellor's an account. The colour is 1, even though it seems there are 2.
Yeah.
What are the colours of our pupil? We're all black, right?
Yeah. We're alien, remember?
Yeah, that's true. If you're talking about like our eyes, though, I mean, I think like I've had people say brown and hazel, so it's one of the two. I'm unsure.
Of the two of you, who is most likely to survive in the wild?
I don't know. I feel like it's quite even, like that, because I'm not gonna lie, there are, I think I was saying how like we sort of grew up with forest parties and stuff. So like we actually learned to like build fire. We built a lot of fires and tents and stuff as kids. So like, but for me, it's the food element and the hunting element that I'm unsure about. I think I'd be okay foraging and keeping warm.
Yeah, but I'm gonna default and say you.
Yeah,
Because of that. I've never really been camping.
Yeah,
I've not done what you've done.
Yeah.
So obviously where you lived, obviously it was a lot. So yeah. No, I think Liam. Right, let's go back to some questions on here, shall we? What have we got?
Someone said Slasheen here. You're still here, and you've asked one as well, so we'll answer that one. We know Anya despises the sanatorium scene as much as Liam does Daniel's character. What do you despise about the games? I mean, I'm guessing it's Supermassive Games.
Sure.
What is like your least favorite? Like, if I said rant about one Supermassive Games thing right now, what is your least favorite?
The first thing that comes to mind, it's the facial animations.
The facial animations.
Really?
Oh, I thought you were going to say something else then. So
what did you think I was going to say?
I thought you were going to say the ending of the quarry.
Oh right, no. I'll say the facial animations, and it's partly because I think that they do such a good job in maybe Until Dawn and the Quarry, in that like it's just more believable. But when you play DPA, sometimes you're like looking at them, and it's like their eyes are dead. It's like there's no soul behind their eyes. And sometimes like they're like just straight up looking at the ceiling when someone's talking to them, and I just find it a bit. It's funny to laugh. It's funny to look at, really, but at the same time you're trying to get into the horror element of it. But to put a positive on that, it does look like that potentially they are starting to improve that. If I'm going by the Directive 8020 trailer,
it is like when you're doing a choice, and I think it's really awkward for these games because when you leave a choice and there's no timer, they have to have an idle animation. And we were laughing about it yesterday, weren't we, with Life is Strange, and they have it where like they fold their arms and just sway and look at each other from side to side.
Yeah.
I went bathroom as I left Rachel, Amber, Chloe, and Victoria in a circle, and they were just doing that for a solid 2 minutes. And I came back and I was like, yeah, okay, that's awkward. But with Supermassive Games, yeah, it's like when Charlie's doing a speech in The Devil in Me, and Erin's just there, her eyes are just all over the shop. And like they don't quite know what to do with the eyes, right? And yeah, like it's definitely something that we've always noticed.
It's just distracting, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
I know it's nitpicky because let's face it, they hit so many beats right because we keep coming back every year to and it's sort of like it's tough love. It's like we're big champions of these games, obviously, but that doesn't mean that we can't nitpick. That doesn't mean we can't say things that we don't particularly like.
We've had quite a few come in here, so we'll quick fire some of these.
Go
on. Where is our UFO? Outside. I mean, we're not aliens, what are you on about?
We might be on it.
Yeah, that is true, actually. Do you prefer gory deaths or quick deaths? I would say gory out of the two, because gory takes more time. You can appreciate the animation more.
Yeah.
Quick isn't necessarily a good thing.
Yeah.
I remember Kate's face in the dinner scene. Yeah, no, yeah, you get what I mean. Donut. All right, cheers for what is this with donuts?
One comment is literally just spiraled into.
Is this because I ate donuts like one string?
It actually is.
Yeah. What's the best for you, violent or gore or cosmic, surreal? Maybe cosmic and surreal. I'm a theatre of the absurd kind of guy.
Violent gore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you think it's lame that Jacob in the quarry started the whole game off just because he wanted it? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can blow up the car. It is a bit of a stupid sort of, situation.
I also think it's stupid, though, that Chris lets it get to the point where he knows the night after or that night he's going to turn into a wolf. Why not have the summer camp finish a couple of days before so that there's like zero plot holes. Like the more you look at it, the more you're like,
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then we've got I'm a Gorehound myself. Yeah, no, I mean not games per se, but in movies, I really appreciate how like gore scenes are put together. Like when they like rig like a nice costume up or something. I do respect it.
So we've got a comment here from Rokas Kurinaskas. Sorry if I've pronounced that horribly or if it's wrong. Why mainly Telltales of interactive games, and why specifically the butterfly effect as a name? Was it taken more from Until Dawn or more from Life is Strange? So the origin name of the podcast, I think it was Until Dawn, don't you?
Yeah, like
there's lots of things. The thing that I like, for me, I'm speaking because it was more Until Dawn, because when we was talking about channel names, we was thinking of like the butterfly effect was like the first one we come up with. Wasn't one of like the flip of a coin or something like that, or forks in the road. We wanted to like have a name that was short and punchy, but it sort of told you what the channel was about.
Yeah.
But we just kept coming back to the butterfly effect because of Until Dawn. But even when we've been doing our analysis series, you see the blue butterfly in Life is Strange. You see the butterfly challenge in Heavy Rain. You see butterflies even in The Walking Dead. So like, it's the perfect name. I generally think it's the perfect name for like what we cover. And obviously there's two of us, so we just whacked the podcast on the end of it. So that's basically it.
Do you like water? Yes. I mean,
yes, I should probably have some. It's been a while.
Yeah, same actually.
Yeah.
Water is our star sign element as well, mate. So yeah, and I grew up by the coast as well. Yeah. So like, love water to drink in, to swim in. Out of the two of you, who's the biggest crier? I feel like we're both not criers, right? We're both toxic masculine men.
No, yeah.
I would say
if you could sum up, how many times would you say you cry per year?
Per year, you know what? Like before, I swear it was kind of
for
like,
me. I'd say no, genuinely, no more than like 3. And like a lot for me, I get stressed more than I cry.
Yeah, I'd say
for me,
so
I feel stressed more, which I don't prefer.
Yeah.
I get in my head a lot when I'm stressed, and I don't really cry. I like to resolve things quickly.
Yeah.
So I don't really cry that much, but I'd say no more than 3.
Yeah, I'd say probably about that. You know what? Before this year, I probably had a bit of a drought. Couldn't name the last time I cried. But yeah, this year, like obviously losing my cat and everything, I've probably had quite a bit, So like, if we're talking recently, definitely me. I've had a few tears this year. But yeah, I don't know. I think we're probably about the same. I can match that. So yeah, I'll say me if you need an answer, but that's from recency.
I always thought you were big Ashton. I don't know who that is. Who's Ashton Kutcher?
He's an actor, and I don't know what he's in. He's one of those like.
It's another Google, guys.
Yeah, like but nah, we're not. Well, evidently from our reaction here, but yeah, like you'll recognise his face. Is that guy? Do you know him?
No.
Go on movies and shows, and you'll see what he's in.
Movies. That's
2.5.
Oh, the butterfly.
Oh, right. That's right. He's in the butterfly effect, right? Yeah. Okay, there we go.
Got it. But no, I didn't. I've not seen any of these films from what I'm looking at so far. No.
Jack, you got a compliment there. You've got some handsome blue eyes, says Elijah.
Thank you very much, sir. And I did see that you mentioned about the Mexican stuff. I don't think I missed that, so I've got you, bro.
Will you be live streaming Frank Stone and Direct20 20? So Jack will be live streaming Frank Stone over on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
Direct20 20. We don't know yet, but it might be you as well. That one,
maybe. Yeah, I don't think we've even thought that far ahead.
Yeah, I think I'm doing double exposure, aren't I?
You are, and Until Dawn, of course.
Yeah, and I'm doing Until Dawn.
And then I think I'll be doing Lost Records in February.
Yeah,
next year. So, but yeah, honestly, we've not thought beyond that really. Hopefully, Directive will come out sooner, but we'll see.
What is your biggest fear now as a kid? Swan and Swan.
Biggest fear as a noun with a kid. I really don't know.
How are you with heights?
I'm not good with heights. When I was a kid, it was probably drowning.
Yeah.
Hence why I really wanted to get into swimming, just to try and cut that fear out as much as possible. Biggest fear now? I don't know.
Trees.
Yeah. Trees. He said it. Do you guys think that by the end of season 2 we will find out who the curator is, aside from being deaf?
Yeah, Danny DeVito. Now, it's honestly, I know we spoke about it before, but I feel like if they want to do a season 3 or season 4, I feel like the curator can't be anything more than a narrator. And not to sound defeatist, but I feel like it's going to be a slow burner, because if they do a massive reveal at the end of season 2, they're going to have to do something wild or bring in a new person for season 3 or something. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like we're not going to get an answer for that for another 4 years.
I hate to sort of bring the tone down as well, but obviously the actor who did the curator, he obviously unfortunately passed away, didn't he? So I don't know if that has a bearing on anything. I don't know how it particularly works, whether like they just get the rights to their face for games, or whether they physically do go in and like do loads of acting and stuff. So yeah, I tend to think that it would probably be a slow burner. I can't see it being answered quickly, because then they've got to refresh it again.
What names would you name your kids? Now, personally, I don't think I'm having kids, so
I actually do think, because me and Laura have spoke about this. So as far as boy, James.
Not Liam.
James,
because of the Little Hope. Dad. Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
The Alcoholic Factory.
Because that's the guy I look up to. That's who I want my son to be.
Yeah.
James from Little Hope.
Yeah.
And then for a girl, a little bit sad, but this would have been what I was called if I was a girl. Alice.
I got them tattooed on me.
Yeah, look how it's all coming together.
Alice is a really cool name. For me, like, I've always had the theory that, like, because I'm single right now, I don't want kids for the sake of having kids. I want to meet someone that makes me want to have kids. And if I do end up having kids, which I might not, it would be, weirdly, mate, I don't have boy names down, but I have like an array of girl names down. And because I'm like half Irish, there's the name Effie, which is spelled Aoife. It's like an Irish name.
Oh, right.
So like, I'd love to go for some like Celtic names. So yeah, no, Effie's up there for me. And I like going for names that begin with A, because then my second name begins with an A as well, and then I get a bit of alliteration in there. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that would be it if I had to. But yeah, and yeah, Sonia as well is pretty cool, and Elijah, and Hunor, and Reed McLaughlin. It's like the whole name, Reed McLaughlin. They go for the whole thing.
Have we run out of comments, mate? I think we might have.
Yeah, I think we've read them all.
So guys, I mean, hit us very quickly if you've got any more.
Yeah.
If you've got any more
We'll
questions,
allow one
but if
question
not,
each.
we have taken nearly 2 hours of your time up, so we might wrap it up fairly soon. But if you get some quick fire ones in, we'll.
I think so.
We will do them.
Plans afterwards.
But we have got
This has been fun though.
It has been.
I actually really like that we've done this, because obviously it's rare that Jack and I will be in the same room together. It happens like once every 2 years or something, maybe. So no, this has been good.
No, it has been, and that's the thing. Like, it's I mean, hopefully you guys know, because we do answer the comments and stuff, but we do try as much as we can to just generally stay like in touch with fans, because we know that you guys are ultimately like sort of like the lifeblood of the channel, because you're the ones that are watching, that you're helping us grow, and it's good to just bounce off different ideas and stuff with people that are like-minded. So I think we can do this maybe a little bit more often, or
first questions for me.
Liam,
why don't you think you'll meet anyone? So
Sonia's asking some really heavy questions.
God, Sonia.
Blimey.
Yeah, which one of you is the biggest crier? Who's the manlier one?
Yeah.
And that is good. It all makes good content. So I'm not saying that I won't meet anyone, but my philosophy is that I don't mind being single and I don't mind being alone. I would rather be single and alone rather than with someone that I didn't get on with or didn't like. So like I would pick loneliness over something I didn't, agree or belong with, So it's going to take someone very special for me to want to sacrifice my solitude. So yeah, that's just like one of the reasons that I do stay single and stuff. Also because I live in a small deadbeat town where I can't meet anyone. But I'll be moving house soon, which is a whole other story as well. So you never know, that could change my life coming up.
Indeed.
Artisan Away just joined late.
What's up?
Good to see you, Artisan.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you in a while.
Another fellow YouTuber who we've had on the channel previously. Also a big Supermassive fan. So, guys, check out Artisan's channel.
What football, soccer for me, teams do you support? You mentioned Man United, but I wasn't sure if that's
who you support. So we definitely don't support Manchester United.
No. I support the Philadelphia Eagles. Come on, Eagles! Yeah. So I myself am a Plymouth Argyle. That is my local team. It's just my local team. But I am a Liverpool fan. So since the age of like 4 years old or something. So you can't switch it up now. Liverpool through and through.
Yeah. As for me, I'm an Arsenal fan. And like we said earlier on with like how we met with the Man United thing, we had like this joint sort of like hatred for Man United. So like when we saw them lose that game 5-3, it was just like a natural like
alliance.
Bonding moment. It was like, we're really happy with that result.
We saw that and then we said, let's start a YouTube channel.
Yeah. Huna says, do you have a Patreon? Yes, we do have a Patreon.
It's funny you mentioned that. Yeah, we worked on it today.
Yeah, we've been working on that today. So there is a link on the channel channel description. What else have we got? Oh wow, has it jumped?
Yeah. Please don't touch minors, bro. Too many paedophiles. Well, don't worry, we didn't plan on it. Unless that's aimed at Jack, but no comment from me. Favorite football players: Steven Gerrard, Mo Salah, Roberto Firmino,
Thierry Henry, Cesc Fabregas, and
Peter Czechoslovakia. So I don't even have any more, man.
I think it's them two. I think Fabregas and Thierry Henry.
What favorite big cat? And I'm not just saying this, but my family can vouch for me that my favorite animal to see when I went to the zoo was the tiger. But I like Black Panthers as well a lot. So but I am a tiger person.
Yeah. The leopard.
Yeah,
I'll go for the leopard. I was recently at the Welsh Mountain Zoo in Wales. It's along the north coast, and they had snow leopards there, and they did look pretty cool. So I'll default for the snow leopard.
Szoboszlai or McAllister? I'm gonna say McAllister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think long term Szoboszlai, but for what they've achieved and what their personal achievements are, McAllister has won a World Cup, a Copa del Rey. McAllister's just different gravy, man. And he's a lot more versatile as well, I'd say. You're too cool.
You're too cool. Oh, well, just stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it. I'm back. Did you know that the Castle of Frankstone bonus costumes are based on Universal monsters like Dracula? You know what? I didn't know they were all monsters, but I have seen the Dracula one. Isn't it? It's got like the inside red collar, isn't it? Like it's when he's like wears his cape sort of thing. It's sort of similar design to that. But I didn't know it was for all the costumes, so that's pretty cool. Dark Tiger will, of course, yeah.
Yeah, don't worry. I spotted it. I said tiger. Don't worry. We're cool.
It's because of all your questions, Sonia. That's why I picked the snow leopard.
Yeah. Fuck you. We like lions.
Yeah. But yeah, should we? Should we wrap it up there?
I think we've been on for nearly 2 hours now, which is longer than we were going to do actually. But still, I just had a lot of fun. I got sidetracked.
It's flown by as well. Actually, it's really flown by. Yeah. So, guys, honestly, thank you to all of you for joining. It's really good just touching base with you and just talking about the games or life, whatever, really.
Yeah.
And do keep an eye out for. Let's plug future video, shall we?
Yeah,
I think on Sunday, what you've got to look forward to is we rank the Little Hope demons.
Yeah.
So you've got that to look forward to. You've also got on Sunday. Oh no, is that no?
That is Sunday.
That is. I think the following Sunday is we're doing a tier list on the Walking Dead season 2 characters. So you've got that to look forward to. And then, of course, shortly after that, it's all about Frank Stone. So do keep an eye out on the channel. We're going to be putting posts up with specific details for when I'm going to be streaming it. And hopefully all of you can join me on Twitch, because obviously I can't do it on YouTube, unfortunately. But yeah, guys, thank you so much again. It's been really good talking to you. And it's been a really good fun, and really good laugh.
Yeah, no, thank you very much, guys. Questions have been awesome. I've had a lot of fun. We have to do this again if we ever get the chance. And I guess it wouldn't be about Perfect Stream if we didn't do anything wild like that. So yeah, thank you very much. Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll catch you in the next one. See you later.
Bye, guys. Thanks.